members of the jury, when you walk through those doors today, you might have been asked to turn off your cell phones, turn off your deepers, turn off anything that was electronic. But when you walk through those doors, you walk down each and every one of these steps, and you sat these seats. There's one thing you're not asked to turn off. You are not asked to turn off your common sense. Your common sense is what will carry you to a verdict of guilty here today. What rings true? Now, members of the jury, I want to remind you about what my burden, what the United States burden is here today. Now, you were asked, if you were asked by opposing counsel, if you feel that Harper may have committed this crime, you must return a verdict not guilty. But members of the jury, it's not true. Our burden is to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt the elements of the crimes. Now, what reasonable doubt is truly what it's not. It's not a mere speculative doubt, not a mere forced doubt, not a mere possible doubt. It has to be a reasonable doubt. And to kind of poke holes in our reasonable doubt, members of the jury, opposing counsel asked you 3 questions. They said, where was Mr. Sanchez killed? Why didn't Agent Briggs go to Wyoming? And where was Harper Williams? Now, members of the jury, as it pertains to where was the victim killed, we know that that bullet, a 30 caliber bullet, the same bullet that can be shot from a Winchester 1895 hunting rifle, that placement in the wood, the same wood as the opposing counsel showed you earlier today, that is where Mr. Sanchez was killed. And there might not have been blood. And the reason is because we heard from this stand that Agent Briggs executed a search warrant on June 30th, 2019. June 30th. The murder occurred on June 4th. That's 26 days. Members of the jury, use your common sense. Is blood, or pool of blood, like opposing counsel wants you to think of, is that going to still be there after 26 days, exposed to the elements, rain, maybe snow, maybe anything? Well, maybe not snow, because it's June, but rain. Would that still be there? The wind blowing. Members of the jury, that's where the murder in this place. Now, to the second question, why didn't FBI Agent Briggs go to Wyoming? Like we said, like I mentioned in my first closing, deception training. Deception training where Agent Briggs was able to decipher that this man wasn't telling her the whole truth. He first says he owned the rifle, then he says he owns the rifle, weaving in and out of the truth. Never coming to a complete halt on what he said was true. He wavered in what he was saying. That is why Agent Briggs never went to Wyoming. That would have been a waste of a trip, members of the jury, because that rifle was already concealed and destroyed. From June 4th to June 30th, the defendant had 26 days. 26 days to get rid of a rifle? It would have taken him a matter of hours. Now, the last question, where was Harper Williamson? Harper Williamson, well, members of the jury, it depends on what you believe. Because there was a lot of inconsistencies with the testimony, and I think this leads into my next point. Credibility. Now, the Honorable Judge is going to instruct you that credibility is a sole job of you as jurors. You get to believe what you heard today? No. That is your job. In doing so, you're going to be asking questions. 1, does any witness have an interest in how the case will be decided? 2, does any witness have any bias or prejudice? And 3, does any testimony from the witness from this stand contradict any of the other evidence? So let's start with Harper Williamson. Harper Williamson, I want you all to think back to my cross-examination of Ms. Williamson, because there were some things she just wasn't really clear on. Right? First she testified on direct examination, and think back to that email that she sent that to Ignacio Hernandez Sanchez. But when I clarified, that was actually sent to Mr. DuPont. She was telling Mr. DuPont to take care of this problem. That was Mr. DuPont's motive, to take care of Mr. Sanchez. But that wasn't all. Harper Williamson took this stand, and when I confronted her, well, you were asked by defense to write this affidavit. I said, well, no. But it wasn't until I had to show her the affidavit that she wrote that she had to change her story. I had to show her evidence. Think about how she was on direct and how she was when I was asking her questions. Now, how about the defendant? Well, the defendant changed his story multiple times, just like Ms. Williamson. He took this stand and wants you to believe that he was at the Motel 6. A Motel 6 that he never told Agent Riggs he was at. A Motel 6 that Harper Williamson never said she was at to Agent Riggs. But after the defense asked her to write a letter, they both changed their story. And here's why they changed their stories. Now, as prosecutors, typically, we don't have to prove to you the why. We just have to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt. But the why? They changed their story to match up. She knew that in order to prevent her from going back to Strickland, she had to maintain the relationship with the man who was paying for her shopping sprees, the man who was paying food, the man who was paying for her car payment and her rent, her livelihood. She needed to protect her. So when the defendant killed Ignacio Hernandez Sanchez, she was the one person he knew who always had his back. Members of the jury, with that, and everything we've heard here today, this man, Charlie Dupont,
2 minutes.
is guilty. He's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Because he had 3 reasons to fire 2 bullets. So his one problem. That problem was Ignacio Hernandez Sanchez. Thank you. Questions?
Thank you, counsel. Now is the time for the jury to deliberate on the verdict. Although it is correct that usually the judge will instruct regarding the jury instructions you are to apply in this case, we're going to skip that. We are going to assume that you've been listening very carefully and already understand all the elements of the offense. But what I would like to ask you to do at this time is just take between 8 and 10 minutes for the jury to discuss. What do you think? How do you evaluate this case? And if you'd be willing to just say in front of everyone, this is a learning experience, it's an educational portion of the program here. So as the